Into our top story this morning, the Judicial Service Commission says it will continue with its business despite the resignation of the uMkhonto Sizwe party's parliamentary leader, Dr John Hlophe, from the body. The Commission says it has not yet received communication from the Speaker of the National Assembly, Thoko Didiza, on Hlophe's resignation. Dr Hlophe, who was removed from office as a judge president of the Western Cape, resigned amid a cloud over the legality of his designation to the JSC, which is the subject of a court review. Yesterday, the Commission started interviewing candidates to fill positions in various courts around the country. The body concluded interviews for the Supreme Court of Appeal. The JSC recommended the judge who previously sat on former President Jacob Zuma's corruption trial until his recusal, Judge Piet Koen, as well as Judge Philip Coppen and Judge Elizabeth Bartman for appointment. Speaking earlier on Morning Live, Mbekizeli Benjamin, Research and Advocacy Officer at Judges Matter, had this to say about the developments at the JSC.
We are surprised to see the MK party withdraw Dr. Hlophe as a member of the Judicial Service Commission. You'll recall that in the last few weeks, in the Western Cape High Court, the MK party and Dr. Hlophe himself argued very strongly against the removal of Dr. Hlophe as a member. And in fact, the MK party filed very strong argument in the Western Cape High Court to argue against the DA's application to review and set aside the decision to designate Dr. Hlophe as a member. And so we thought that because they had fought so strongly, they would sort of argue that point until the end, because it is an important point that needs to be clarified by the courts. And so it is for us quite surprising to see them retreat in a way and remove Dr. Hlophe as a member designated on behalf of the MK party.
Now, this is what MK party spokesperson Ntlamulo Ntlela had to say about Dr. Hlophe's decision.
We had to challenge the process because there's clearly the DA, and in this case also more so the court, was overreaching. And we needed to ensure that we highlight the issue of separation of powers. Courts cannot dictate processes of parliament. Dr. Hlophe was nominated and appointed to participate in the JSC democratically. The DA lost that vote. So it's not a futile exercise. Mm-hmm. What is happening here is we can't associate Dr. Hlophe, neither can he associate himself with a process that is fraudulent. It would be misrepresentation. Misrepresentation in the sense that he would then be expected to be present but not participate. I mean, how do you not participate in something that you ought to be present in? Yeah. Courts should stop overreaching. Judges ought to ensure that they oversee the implementation of the law, not fiddle and build a moving car and make their laws and make Hlophe laws and make Zuma laws. This is what's happening. That's why we're saying that we don't even want this constitution. It needs to be totally overhauled.